What's up, everybody? It's your boy Tino here, and we're here today to recap SummerSlam, talk about what happened last night. As we're here, TTW episode number 7. Was it the greatest SummerSlam of all time? Well, today I'm going to answer that question for you. We're going to go over what happened last night, the good, the bad, and that's about it. There was no ugly, just the good and the bad. So, let's not waste no time. Let's get to the chat. Let's see what everybody's saying. And then we will go over what happened last night if you did not see. But first, before we do that, guys, we got 2 new members. As we got our guy Rocco in the house. And we got my dad. Hey now, what's up, Dad? Appreciate you. Dad Tino. I don't know what we would call him. But new members, guys. So, appreciate you guys hitting that join button. If you have not yet, please do so. Remember, guys, we have 5 winners of free memberships. 5 subscribers will be earning those memberships tomorrow during Monday Night Raw. So make sure you guys come here to complain. Make sure that you come here tomorrow on Raw to claim your free membership. We'll get you ready. We'll get all the perks and everything else like that. So, Jadis, Eric, Michelle, Scott, and Erica, you are all the winners. So make sure you come and claim your membership tomorrow. Jacob Fatu was wearing a boot after SummerSlam. We'll talk more about that when we get to that match, about what happened and everything. We all have been asking the same question, right? What's going to be more upcoming after SummerSlam, Raw or SmackDown, you know? I know that is a very good question because we have a lot of stories now going on both shows. So, I'm excited to see where it could go. Previously on Monday Night Raw. Yes, previously. We got the Wyatt Six making their debut tomorrow. Should be exciting. Cody Rhodes said he wants a 3rd match with Roman Reigns. He said, as a babyface, I can admit that he's scary. I've been in the ring with him 2 different times, and yeah, he's wanting Roman Cody. Cody Roman 3. It will happen more or less likely. I just don't know when. So, we'll have to see when exactly it happens. Okay, overall, what was your favorite match and why? I got to say Gunther and Damian for what Finn did. I will get back to that question once we go over the show. I'm sure it will happen again at some point. What match was more intense to watch? I feel like Drew and Punk, so we're going to star these 2. Make sure I star those so I don't lose them. What was my favorite match overall? We will answer that little bit. Jay just said this show should be interesting. It should be. It will be. Appreciate Jay just asking all these questions. You know it's randomized, the memberships. What do you mean? What do you mean it's randomized? I don't think so. I'm gonna look more into that. We'll make sure. I'm gonna try to make sure we get the right people, get the right memberships. So let's go over what happened at SmackDown. Keep leaving your comments, your concerns, your questions. I'll answer all the questions after. But right now, we're gonna go over everything that happened in the show and everything in between. So let's get to it. And I'm gonna take myself out now of the thing. And we're going to go to what happened on the pre-show, guys. We have an announcement that Joe Tessamore is making his debut on September 2nd on Raw, as Michael Cole will be going over to Friday Night SmackDown. So, Joe, welcome to WWE. Welcome to the commentary table. And I cannot wait to see. And I just have to wait and see what goes down with these guys. But I'm excited for Joe to get the opportunity. Michael Cole being on SmackDown probably gives Michael Cole a little breather, not having to do both shows. So Michael Cole will be okay, but Joe, I think he'll be fine. So we got that on the pre-show. There was really not too much that happened on the pre-show, as we had a 3-hour talk session. They had a couple interviews. They previewed all the matches and everything else like that. So there wasn't really anything crazy. But we did start off SummerSlam with the game, Triple H. He came out and said, "Are you ready?" like he has been doing. And we all said, yes, we're ready to start off SummerSlam. We had Jelly Roll perform. Jelly Roll performed his new song. Great performance. If you have not, go listen to it back. But we had it muted, so we were listening to it. But yeah, Jelly Roll did his thing. He did the national anthem. And we got the first match underway, which was Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley went out there. They kicked off the show. I said it in the pre-show that I think a women's match could have. I thought it could have possibly been this one, but I also thought it could have been Nia and Bayley. They could have started off with Gunther and Priest. That was the other one I thought it could be. But they started off with Liv and Rhea. And, this match was good. They went out there. They did what they did. Rhea seemed to pop her shoulder out of socket and then pop it back in about 2 or 3 times. So that looked like it hurt really bad. But they had a really good match. They did showcase a lot of stuff, and it was a great way to start off the show. And obviously, because of what happened during the match with Dominic Mysterio taking the chair away from Rhea Ripley, and then Rhea Ripley got distracted, and Dominic Mysterio did what we all thought Dominic Mysterio was going to do. Liv Morgan hit one Oblivion. Dominic distracted the referee, and then Liv Morgan hit another Oblivion. And Liv Morgan won the championship, retained her women's championship, as Rhea Ripley is sad and as she is just torn apart about not winning the match. Dominic goes and picks up Liv Morgan, and who knew what he was going to do at first? I had no idea what he was going to do at first. But then what he did was what I don't know if many people expected. He looked into her eyes, he grabbed her close, and they had themselves a little makeout session. So Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan put their arms around each other, and they skipped their asses to the back. And it seems like we have Liv Morgan now and Dominic Mysterio in some type of a faction. And I guess they're in love, and maybe we see a marriage on Raw. I don't really know exactly, but Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan, guys, locking lips, doing their thing. And then Liv Morgan was the best girlfriend ever as she bought her Dom, a bunch of chicken tenders, and he had himself a great night. So Dominic got Liv, he got the win, and he got his chicken tenders. So Liv, Dominic, and they're happy as Liv Morgan is still your women's world champion. And here's a picture of the kiss if you want to see. Look at this guy's face. I wish I could do like the Pat McAfee thing, but I can't. I don't have the drawing, whatever. But look at this guy's face. He's like, oh my God. But we all wanted to be Dominic here. Dominic just locking lips with Miss Liv Morgan. But after that, and after we saw that match go down, I'm going to get the card up here because I also want to tell you how long the matches were, because we did try to predict how long the matches were going to be. And I'm kind of interested to see how well we did here. So I'm going to tell you how long this match was. This match lasted a whopping time of 15 minutes and 55 seconds. That's a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. But after we saw that, I think I actually said 22 minutes, so it's a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be. But for the amount of time that they gave each match, I did really like it. So they did give the matches the time that they needed. So Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan went 15 minutes, and Dominic helped Liv Morgan win. So then we had another title match, and this one was the power of a spear and a haluva kick. It was for the Intercontinental Champion. It was Braun Breaker taking on Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental title, and we saw that's a little bit later, we saw Braun Breaker become a new Intercontinental Champion. Braun Breaker is your new champion. He had himself a really good performance. The match only lasted 5 minutes and 40 seconds, so it wasn't too long of a match, but for what they did when they went out there and did what they needed to do, they both looked good. Sammy, I feel like, did what he needed to do, and they made a star out of Bron Breakker. And I'm so happy that Bron Breakker's now your new Intercontinental Champion. That is just one of 4 title changes, guys. So, Bron Breakker defeated Sami Zayn with a good old spear. I thought Bron kind of hurt himself at some point, but then it seemed like he was okay. So, that's good. But Bron Breakker is your IC champion, and I'm excited to see where he goes and who he can feud with. I think we see Bron Breakker possibly take on Dragunov, or maybe he takes on a somebody like a Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods type of guy. I mean, I'd love to see Kofi back in the IC title picture. So let's get to it, though. Let's get to the next match. And the next match that happened, it was the one I just showed you. But we'll have to save the picture for the ending because it was Logan Paul taking on the megastar LA Knight. Yeah. So we saw LA Knight and Logan Paul go out there, and, you know, they had a really good performance. Logan Paul continues to prove why he is really good in the ring and how much work he really does put in to do what he does. LA Knight and Logan Paul's match lasted 12 minutes. We saw Logan Paul enter with one of my favorite artists of all time, Mr. MGK, Machine Gun Kelly. I love Machine Gun Kelly. So Machine Gun Kelly came out with Logan Paul. Then he went and sat by his friends. And we would see his friends a little bit later on in the match, as we saw LA Knight take out 2 of his friends. It looked like Machine Gun Kelly was going to get in the ring at one point. We did not see no Prime Bottle. They didn't do a Prime Bottle. But MGK did pretend to be one of the security cameramen people for WWE or whatever they were doing. At first, I thought it was LA Knight. And then I saw that it was Machine Gun Kelly. Because obviously Machine Gun Kelly is from Cleveland. Everybody from Cleveland was there. So it was nice to see Machine Gun Kelly. But the match was really good. They went out there and did really good for 12 minutes. There were a few times I thought that LA Knight was going to lose. But then we saw and we had Logan Paul try to grab the brass knucks. Machine Gun Kelly gave it to him. But Logan Paul didn't let that stand, as LA Knight did what he needed to do. He got the brass knucks away. And then LA Knight hit his finisher and did the 1, 2, 3. And LA Knight is your new United States champion. So the megastar, everybody, is now a champion in the WWE. Finally, after all this time. You love to see it. Yeah. I'm so happy for LA Knight. After what he did and what he went through with Max Dupree, after everything he went through with being like just not winning when we thought he was going to win, this is, as he said on the press conference last night, 2023 was the foundation. 2024 is that, like the little ladder. And 2025, we skyrocketed. So, LA Knight, guys, LA Knight got big plans for the future. And I will not guarantee it, but I could bet you, possibly, in the next 2 years, LA Knight will be a world champion. So, we got Kicking It with Leo in the chat. What's up, Kicking It with Leo? How you doing, bro? Thank you, Leo, stopping by. So, let's talk about the next match, though, and it was for the WWE Women's Championship, as it was Nia Jax, as she took on Bayley in a singles match for the championship. And this match lasted about as long as LA Knight and Logan Paul, except it was 12 minutes and 30 seconds. They gave it 30 extra seconds. So we saw Nia, we saw Bayley. Bayley went into a side of a Bayley that we have not seen in Bayley since her NXT days. Bayley went back to her roots for a second, and she was doing moves that we haven't seen in a minute. So I love seeing Bayley out there doing that. That was really good. I did pick Nia Jax to win, and I also did say that there could be a possibility of Tiffany Stratton to come out. And that's exactly what happened. About 8 minutes into the match, Tiffany Stratton comes out. She looked like she was going to cash in to make it a triple threat match. But then what happened was that it was a distraction to help Nia Jax win the title. So Nia went on to defeat Bayley. She decided to power slam Bayley like she was the Undertaker. And then she did 2 of her finishers and just plopped on her twice and said, Bayley, you're going bye-bye. So, it was Nia Jax, your new women's champion. Queen Nia taking over the SmackDown, taking names and taking titles. She is now your champion, and I cannot wait to see what Nia does with it. And guys, remember, Nia is part of the Bloodline. So the Bloodline holding all type of gold right now. It's crazy. That happens tomorrow, what I said. I will see that. And like I said, guys, I will get to your messages after we go over everything that happened. And then we will get to the chat and everything else like that. So keep leaving your questions, your comments, your concerns. I appreciate you guys staying here. Hit that like button if you have not yet. We got 10 likes. Subscribe. We're 20 away to 2,300. So if you have not yet, or if you unsubscribed, which I don't know why you would, make sure to subscribe. So let's get to the next match. And that match was the one that I was anticipating and I've been looking forward to the most. It was CM Punk taking on Drew McIntyre with Seth freaking Rollins as the special guest referee. Shawn Michaels. Seth Rollins came out in his referee gear, all bedazzled and all sparkly. His crazy referee attire that he decided to come up with. But you do know that they're going to make a figure of it within like a year. So watch out for that. The CM Punk figure, because CM Punk came out and CM Punk was representing some Bret Hart. I also thought it could have been AJ Lee, though, because who could not think about pink and black attire? You always think, when I think about pink and black together, I always think about AJ Lee. So we could have seen that, but it was obviously Bret Hart. But we'll see those 2 figures in the SummerSlam line next year for all you collectors out there. But the match, we got Drew McIntyre, CM Punk go at it. Punk got in Seth's face. Drew got in Seth's face. Drew was trying to tell Seth to let us fix the problem and take CM Punk out. They had a really good match. I enjoyed it. But the only thing that I was surprised about was what happened at the end. Because you knew the referee was going to get taken out. Seth got taken out about 3 times. Seth was also wearing this new earpiece that I guess the referees will be wearing now. I didn't even notice it until after Seth's match. But it seemed like every referee was wearing them. So I guess it's a new thing that they're trying, maybe for pay-per-views. So the ending was we saw a couple claymores. We saw go to sleep. We saw Seth Rollins do some shenanigans. But in the end, Drew McIntyre gets the win. He defeats CM Punk. And I was shocked because I really thought that CM Punk was going to lose or win his first match back, first one-on-one match back in over 10.5 years or 10 plus years now. So I feel like Drew and Punk is far from over. We'll probably see more shenanigans on Raw tomorrow, as they both will be live tomorrow on Raw. We'll have to wait and see if maybe they go to Bash of Berlin. Maybe we see them at Bad Blood. Maybe we see them at, we'll have to see where this rivalry goes. But it's going to be really interesting to see where Punk and Drew McIntyre goes, because not only did Seth take the bracelet from Drew McIntyre, he put it on his arm, and then Seth decided to take it off, and he was going to give it to Punk, and then Punk ripped it off of him, and then it turned into a whole thing about the bracelet. And then after it was all done and after Drew McIntyre won the match, Drew McIntyre took the bracelet off of CM Punk, and now Drew McIntyre, after all of that, has the bracelet back. So he still has the bracelet with AJ and Larry, or April and Larry. I think it's April and Larry on his bracelet. So he still has the bracelet. We'll have to see. Hopefully CM Punk gets that back sooner rather than later. But CM Punk, I think he'll be fine. I'm just happy he didn't get hurt. He looked good out there. So I'm excited to see where this rivalry goes. But Drew McIntyre, you know what? Drew McIntyre has not got a win in a minute. So it's good for Drew McIntyre to get a clean win. Obviously, without the help of Seth Rollins with the stuff that they did. But there's still a win. And a win's a win. The White Sox just lost their 20th in a row, guys. I don't know if they're ever going to win again. So, I'm just saying. But then we had, I'm going to show you also, I have the pictures. Drew McIntyre taking the bracelet, there's the bracelet, off of CM Punk and staring him down. So, CM Punk, he don't have his bracelet no more. But what happened next was, before the main event, or before I should say, I don't know if this happened before or after the next match, but we'll talk about it now. Jelly Roll had a little segment. Oh, this happened after the Gunther and Priest match. So Jelly Roll decided to come out after he performed, and we had Miz and R-Truth. They thought Theory and Waller were the Rock and Roll Express. I know nobody cares about baseball. I was just talking about it because we were talking about wins. So that's a Jade. Listen, James. But Jelly Roll comes out. He beats up Waller and Theory with a chair. Miz and Truth help him. And then they all celebrate. So we got that in between the main event and Priest and Gunther. So now let's talk about Priest and Gunther, because we do have that match. And we have to talk about it because, oh, how crazy it was. So I said it, and a lot of people have said it. I thought Drew McIntyre, or I thought Gunther was going to win this whole time. I knew he was going to win. But they did a very good job at making it seem like Damian Priest was going to win. Damian Priest went out there and put on an absolute banger of a match. Damian Priest went out there and showed why he was North American champion, why he won Money in the Bank, why he won the Tag Team Champions, why he was chosen by Edge to even be in the Judgment Day. And I really enjoy seeing Damian Priest grow as much as he has. It's just so much fun to watch. So Damian Priest and Gunther go out there. They put on one hell of a banger of a match. At one point, we saw Finn Balor come out. And at first, we didn't really know what he was going to do, because during and right before the match, Finn Balor said, "I got you." He patted Damian on the shoulder, on the chest, and he said, "I got you." He said, "I'll come out. You need me." So Finn Balor comes out. He isn't doing anything too much yet. But then what does he do? Gunther gets real close to the ropes. Damian Priest goes for the pinfall. And Finn Balor, out of all people, put the foot on the rope. And we saw a heel turn from the one and only man himself, Finn Balor. So then Finn Balor does not stop staring at Damian Priest. And then what happened was Damian Priest decided that it would be a good idea to take himself and be distracted from Gunther. You should never tune away and turn away from Gunther, because he could come out of nowhere at any time. He decides to go up to Finn Balor and choke him like Bart Simpson gets choked by Homer, and literally for like 2 seconds has him in a chokehold. But what happens? Gunther grabs him. He chokes him. I think he even did a power slam at one point in between all of this. And our new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, or WWE Champion, whatever you want to say it, it's the Ring General, Gunther. So, guys, Gunther won. I said Gunther was going to win. I think a lot of us said Gunther was going to win. And nothing against Damian Priest. I think Damian Priest just kind of got a bad apple in the litter, or a bad apple in the basket, because Damian Priest did cash in the title and win. I don't think they really had any big plans for him, but I think that they were expecting it to not take as long. So maybe he was always going to lose it now, but maybe they didn't give it to him like sooner than they were going to. I don't really know. So Damian Priest didn't have too long of a title run, 100 plus days, obviously, since WrestleMania. So Damian Priest leaves, and now we will have to see possibly a rematch. We could see a rematch tomorrow on Monday Night Raw, but I feel like what's going to happen at Bash at Berlin is we're going to see Ilya Dragunov taking on Gunther for that championship, and seeing a match that we saw in NXT UK, a match that these guys probably have always wanted to have on the main roster. So I think it's going to be very exciting to see what they do and how far they can push this match. And I hope it does happen. So where does that leave Damian Priest? Well, that leaves him with the guy that cost him his championship, and he thought that it was his best friend. Finn Balor turns on the Judgment Day. We had JD McDonough rip up the JD shirt. We had Damian pretty much just lose it and lose everything. Rhea lost her championship. And Judgment Day is down to Carlito. So Damian is going to be dealing with Finn for a while. I think we lead to that match, maybe in a Hell in a Cell, maybe a stipulation type of a match. I think that'd be really cool to see. But Priest and Finn, we're going to have Gunther and Dragunov. And that's what my two predictions are for the rivalries that will continue. But you get a quick look at Finn Balor staring at Damian, just staring at him, guys. Did not move a muscle. Finn Balor just stayed there real quick, and he did not move 1 second at all. But then it was time, because I thought and I forgot about the Gunther and Priest match. I said it was main event time, but it wasn't main event time. But now it was one main event time, as it was Cody Rhodes taking on Solo Sikoa in Bloodline Rules, everybody. Bloodline Rules match. Cody Rhodes, Solo Sikoa going out there, doing what they need to do. And at first, I was kind of like a little bored of the match. But, I mean, it was not awful. But then it picked itself up a little bit. Solo got some moves. Cody got some moves. It was a good match that they started to build up. And it was only a matter of time before all the shenanigans began. So I said about 15 minutes. I think it took about like 20 minutes. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But it happened. And oh, did it happen oh so fast. Because we saw Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa come out, the eye patch guy. We saw, and I didn't even think about these guys returning, Mr. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton that were recently taken out by them. I completely forgot about that. So we saw them come out and take out Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. But you know it was only a matter of time, and you know that we'll probably see that match between those two very soon, those two teams. But then we were missing somebody from the new bloodline. And it was only a matter of time before he came out, and it was himself, Mr. Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu, guys, is a freak athlete. And Jacob Fatu is just one of those guys that, as long as he's okay from what the move he did where he almost hurt himself, taking off and going crazy onto the announce table, Jacob Fatu could very well be a champion in the next 6 months because he's insane. And I was even talking to Jadis. I was talking to my cousin. We could see a possible match between Fatu and Cody Rhodes at the next pay-per-view if Jacob Fatu is okay. Obviously, Jacob Fatu is now a tag team champion, so we'll have to see and sort all of that out. But Jacob Fatu comes out. He destroys Cody. He destroys everybody. And then we see Solo and Cody in the ring. Cody kicks out of some moves that I didn't think he was going to kick out of. They really got me a couple times thinking that Solo was really going to win that championship. So they got me a few times. But everybody was fighting and everybody was doing. And then Jacob Fatu and Solo are standing there. And then the music hits. Since WrestleMania, we have not seen him. And the OTC, the original Tribal Chief, everybody acknowledge him because the music hit for our Tribal Chief. And Roman Reigns made his debut. He made his return after being gone since April. He made his return. He comes into the ring. He has a little stare down with Cody. He turns around. He Superman punches Solo. He spears Solo. He might have just Superman punched him, but I remember him spearing him too. So Roman just destroys Solo, walks out of the ring. Cody Rhodes comes up, hits a crossroads, and the match ends. 1, 2, 3. And we have our WWE World Champion. His name is Cody Rhodes. So, undisputed WWE Champion, still Cody Rhodes. We got a picture of the OTC Roman, we missed you. Yes, we did. The OTC guys is back. The tribal chief has returned, and we're ready to see what he will do. And he's ready to beat Solo, take back the bloodline, and let everybody know who the real tribal chief is. So, that is how we ended SummerSlam. So we had a total of 7 matches, and I thought they all flowed very well. I will say that I'm going to rate this match card probably out of 5 stars. I'm going to say about a 4.5, 5, but I'm going to stick to 4.5. It was almost being perfect. Almost. I mean, it was pretty perfect, but I'm just going to be a little, whatever. So, 4.5. Let me know what you guys would rate this show out of 5 stars. Is it a 5 for you? Is it 4? What did you think? And do you think it was the greatest SummerSlam of all time? So let's answer that question real quick before we get back to the chat and before we see what everybody is saying. So, do I believe that it is the greatest SummerSlam of all time? No, because there's other SummerSlams and there's other shows that, like, for nonchalant reasons and, like, for reasons that, like, when I was younger, I really enjoyed, like, the SummerSlam 2005. I really enjoyed other SummerSlams that they had. So, for me, it's not the greatest of all time, but it's right up there, at least in the top 3 to 5 SummerSlams that I've ever watched that I thought was very good. Between the storylines, the building, the title changes, the surprises, the makeout sessions, the Machine Gun Kellys, the Jelly Rolls, and all the people that were at SummerSlam, I definitely would rank this probably in the top 3, 4 SummerSlams of all time for me. So, it's not the greatest of all time, but it's going to be one of my favorites and one I'll probably go back and watch a few times. And the reason, and I'll tell you the reason why it wasn't 5 stars, is because that man, Mr. Drew McIntyre, won, and he defeated our guy from Chicago, CM Punk. Listen, I know CM Punk's got whatever. They're going to do whatever. I just want to see CM Punk win. So that's the only reason why it's not 5 stars for me. So let's get to the chat. Let's see what everybody's saying. I got some more slides I'm going to show you real quick, and then we're going to get going. So now that we can answer Jadis's questions, let's go back and answer Jadis's questions. So what was my favorite match? My favorite match was probably, I'm going to say Gunther and Priest. Yeah. Gunther and Priest was probably like the best match, but probably the best, like, yeah, Gunther and Priest. Cody and Solo. I thought Solo was going to win. Yeah, I thought Solo was going to win. What was your favorite match overall? So overall, the one I enjoyed the most was probably LA Knight and Logan Paul, just because I love Machine Gun Kelly, seeing him get involved, LA Knight winning the match. I really enjoy watching Logan. So that is my favorite match overall. I would have loved to see a Punk match, but Drew McIntyre won. Tomorrow night should be really interesting. Yes, it should be. We also got the Wyatt family, Wyatt 6, making their debut. Eric, Joe, and Dexter. We got Daniel in the house. What's up, Daniel? Roman Reigns had $1 million for company and $2 million. That means they made a lot of money and had a lot of engagement on social media for the return of Roman Reigns. This episode should be amazing. Jadis, I hope this episode has been amazing for you. I hope you're enjoying this episode. Because remember, guys, we'll be back here next week for another full week of episodes as we do all the good stuff. We hang out, we talk, we watch shows, and everything else. What's up, Michelle? Top 3? Yes. I'll say it's number 3 for me. But that's just because I'm old. I'm almost 30, and I've watched so many SummerSlams. So, definitely up there. Jadis, we will figure this out. I know I talked about it earlier, but if you did not and you were not here, we will make sure that the right people get memberships. So, worst case, if I see all of you guys in here, then maybe I'll do it. And if I have to do it, we'll figure it out. If I give a few other people memberships, it's okay. So, we just got to make sure all 5 of you are in here. You know they'll show Judgment Day 5 different. Oh, you already know. We're gonna see video packages. We're gonna see makeout sessions. We're gonna see story time. We're gonna see Liv and Dom probably make out in front of the camera. It's gonna be a bunch of shenanigans. A bunch of shenanigans. Yeah, it's random. You can't choose who gets the memberships. They have to be in here, and which, well, yeah. Usually all you guys are here, so we'll just make sure everybody is here. And honestly, worst case, what we could do is wait until the end of the show, and then you guys just stay here, and I send you all. Or, yeah, we'll figure it out. My question is, do you think Tiffany should have cashed in? I mean, I definitely think she might have, but they're just gonna long play this. We're gonna see Nia and Tiffany have a little friendship, and then Nia and Tiffany will have a rivalry. Yes, Basha Berlin or Bad Blood. Bad Blood could be a better one. Cash in? I'll say she cashes in if she still has that Survivor Series. Yes. We saw Stephanie McMahon a few times, and we also saw Stephanie McMahon hugging the one and only CM Punk. So that had to be a moment. Which women's match was better? Probably Rhea and Liv. Dom's turn was set up perfectly, and the way they set up the match card in general. I always say it depends how they do the match card, but they really did a good job on doing the match card yesterday. Judgment Day has imploded, and they are not coming back. No, they're not. Oh, bro. As soon as he picked her up, I already knew he was going to look at her and be like, ooh, goo, goo, gaga. In one night, Michelle. Michelle is in one night. What, huh? Jade is, what does that mean? Finn turned on Priest. When does Priest return the favor? Tomorrow on Raw. Bro was in the camera. Bro was in the camera. The what camera? Oh, a meme. I heard a match was 6 minutes. Yeah, so the matches were Liv Morgan and Rio was 15:55. Braun and Sammy was 5:40. LA Knight and Logan Paul were 12 minutes. Nia Jax and Bayley was 12:30. Punk and Drew was 17. Gunther and Priest was 16. And then Cody and Solo was almost 30 minutes. 29 minutes and 10 seconds. So, we saw a lot. Yeah. Watch Braun versus Sammy. Yes. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. What's next for Sammy? Sammy might rejoin the bloodline. Maybe that's why Sammy lost the title. Maybe Sammy lost the title because he's going to go and rejoin Sammy, Jimmy, Jay, and Roman. And then maybe they bring in Zilla, and we got ourselves War Games. SummerSlam. Shoulder slam. Shoulder slam, according to Marcus last night. Man, Marcus is a funny guy. Marcus needs to put the bottle down. What if Damian Priest would go to the IC win? I mean, maybe. But I don't think Bron Breakker loses that title for a while. Oh, look at who it is. It's our guy, Leo. He has come back, guys. He has come back from Death Valley. He says, I think for some reason they wouldn't have started with LA Knight. I mean, I did too, because I did think that they were going to, just like last year, if you guys remember last year, Jake Paul had a fight and Logan was going up against Ricochet, and Logan wanted to start off the show so he could leave and go watch his brother. So I did think the same there for a minute, Leo. How you doing, Leo? I miss talking to you, bro. How you been? What's up, Daniel? Andrade goes to the U.S. title. Andrade's got to start defending that speed championship a little bit more. What do you guys think? Yeah, what you discussed is that you guys all suck. Anyway. will we get returns this week? I will say we could possibly get Alexa, Charlotte, and somebody else. But I'll say Alexa and Charlotte could be back. Jadis, did you read my mind? I didn't even look at your message. That's funny. He said Alexa or Charlotte. You know Wyatt 6 wins tomorrow. Yes, they should win. There should be no reason why the Creed brothers and Gable win that match tomorrow. If it's in the main event tomorrow and Wyatt 6 introduces a new number and it's Alexa, well, I don't think it will main event the show. I think that it will be probably like in the middle, or it might start off an hour. I could definitely see something like that. What if that happens tomorrow? What I said, it could. Yes, Nia and Tiffany are going to be doomed for a minute. Yes. Seth wasn't last in. Yeah, Seth was not last. I'm surprised. I'm surprised Seth lasted as the referee as long as he did. Tiffany, yes, that's exactly what you guys should know. If you guys know Tiffany, you would know that Tiffany's just luring her in, railing her in little by little until she finally hits her with the briefcase and cashes in. Him losing was kind of like a head scratcher because he hasn't had a match since 2011. Yes, that was the only reason why I thought CM Punk was going to win. But, I mean, it makes sense for Drew because Drew has not had a lot of wins as of late. So, you know, listen, Jadis, he said nobody cares about baseball. I understand. Bro literally took pictures from his TV. You can see the red on the button. Bro, I did not take pictures off my TV, but what? The red on the button. I don't know what you're talking about. Jadis, you're a bully. Love watching. Oh, Jadis, don't say that. That's not nice. Speaking of imploding, Waller and Theory coming soon. Yes, that's another one. We could see Waller and Theory have a singles match at WrestleMania or at Bash of Berlin. No saw Finn coming out. I did never say that, but in the back of my head, I did kind of think about it that we could have possibly seen it, but that was only because Finn Balor teamed up with AJ Styles and Liv Morgan back at Hell in the Cell 21. So that was the only reason why I think it could have happened. Joey Bosa left practice with an injury. That's not good. Hey, everybody loves Leo. This is a good question. Rhea Dom or Finn drama? Finn Damian drama. I feel like Rhea will want the revenge and want something to do with you with Jay and Finn. And Damian, we just want it all to get along. Well, yeah, it's going to be nuts. Rhea's going to go crazy tomorrow. Dom's going to go crazy. Liv is going to be the happiest woman in the world. And Judgment Day is just going to implode by the second. So I'm really excited to see what happens with the Judgment Day and where this all goes. But it's a lot of drama, and it's so much fun to watch. Because Finn Balor being on his own again is something I've wanted for a very long time. So I'm excited that we're finally getting it. See this shirt? See what shirt? My shirt or whose shirt? Now it's the main event. Yes, it is. What a way for Roman to return because Solo and Cody were laying. Yep, that was exactly how they should have done it. Jacob got it out. Yeah, that Jacob Fatu. We didn't even talk about Jacob Fatu's injury. Jacob Fatu, guys, it looks like he had a leg injury, but it looks like it is nothing serious. But then again, they could just say that, and they could really know that he's going to be out for a long time. Because to be honest, half of these referees, half of these trainers really don't know what they're talking about. So we'll have to see. But I hope Jacob's okay because we need Jacob back. And seeing Jacob in the ring is all we want. Everybody wants Jacob and Roman? Not yet. Not yet, Jadis. He has new music. As long as Def Rebel don't mess it up. We see Jimmy and Paul Heyman on Friday. Yeah. Yeah, I think we definitely see Paul Heyman. OG versus New Bloodline. Survivor Series, guys. It's going to be lit. The Civil War of the Bloodline. Bailey, Bo and Chad, or Alba Fire and Isla Dawn taking on a tag team. Like, why didn't they put any matches on the pre-show? I would have been perfectly satisfied with a match on the pre-show. It's a 4.8, he says. Chad versus Bo, Survivor Series. Yeah, I don't know when Bo makes his debut, but they could do that. Or they wait a little bit longer. I think it's going to be more or less of what Bo has to say. Best in ring match of the night, LA Knight and Logan Paul. It has been amazing. I appreciate you, Jadis. I'll be here. I'm still tired from last night. The match card was good for what the script... Yeah, exactly, and they focused on the stories. That's always the big thing for me. Like, focus on the stories. Focus on what's going on. And don't just go out there and be like, oh, so we're just going to do this and that, and this match ain't going to make no sense. So, that's my thing. It all just made sense. The match card was good. You said that twice. I said they turned in one night, Judgment Day. Yes, they did. Judgment Day broke up literally in one night. It didn't even last that long. What type of family is that? Next tag team, Jay and Sammy. Do you really think they put Jay and Sammy in a tag team? I mean, now that Sammy's not the Intercontinental Champion, we very well could see that, but I just don't know if we are. I want to see AJ Lee. AJ Lee. What if we get Andrade versus LA Knight versus Carmelo? Book it. Hey, WWE, Triple H, listen to this match. Book this stuff for WrestleMania. Or Survivor Series, I should say. Or Mania. Yeah, we could have seen the women's tag titles, too. The Bully is getting a member, though. He is. He got free membership. He did win. Judgment playing a lot of drama yesterday. It took 10 years, guys, but Roman, and he has finally got those loud baby face pop that he has wanted in first so many years. That Alex Smith injury I sent you, yeah, that looked like it hurt really bad. Just ordered my OTC shirt. Yes, sir. You got to get that. I got the Big Dog shirt. Not on still. I changed my shirt, but the Big Dog, man, you loved it. You love to see it. 6-woman tag. Alba, Isla, Blair, Bianca, Jay, Naomi. That is also a new faction that we very well could be seeing go on and be facing each other. Are those people? Are them? So we'll have to see. With Blair joining Alba Fire and Isla Dawn this past Friday. They already have one victory in Finn and JD. Yup, they only have one victory and they only got one set of titles. Should be interesting to see what Finn Balor and JD. But the last message we're going to answer here today, guys, is from our guy Temple. So if you have any more questions, concerns, comments, anything, leave it in the comments or come and hang out tomorrow and we will talk about it all. So Temple says, Solo God, Jacob Fatu, Hiko Tula, Hook, Haiku Leo versus Roman, Uso, Sammy, and Owens. Possibly. I think it could be Roman, the Usos, Zayn, and maybe Zilla. But then I guess you do need one more, right? So maybe we put Paul Heyman in War Games. Jadis has one more question. I guess Finn has in say what JD. Yeah, that is true. We'll have to see if those two stay together. I mean, they should stay together, right? But, guys, that is how we are going to... wait, oh, you know what? I lied. I got a few more things to show you. Never mind. We ain't done here yet. First, let's take a look at Solo's face. Guys, Solo's face when Roman came out and all of that was fantastic. Poor Solo. That's what Lamar looks like when Queen Batty don't want to give him the boom boom. But LA Knight said, I don't know how to quit. I don't know how to stop. If I stop believing, nobody will believe in me. And that's a big fact. And that's a quote of and by the one and only LA Knight. So, LA Knight, guys, with the motivational speech at the press conference, our new U.S. champion is ready to take over the game. Yeah. Let me talk to you. We got CM Punk, and we also got Drew McIntyre being the savage again. As he said, the haters said I couldn't do it, and they were correct. Honestly, great call from the haters. Drew McIntyre sharing this on social media. We also got Buddy Matthews, guys. As soon as Dominic made out with Liv Morgan, Buddy Matthews put out, he said, hey, TK, can I go help mommy real quick? Do I believe this is going to happen? No. But it would be so freaking cool if it did. If we saw Buddy Matthews just come out, beat the crap out of Dominic real quick, and then run away, that'd be so great. And lastly, JD has ripped up the Judgment Day shirt. He says he's never liked it, and he's ready to be the one and only JD McDonough Funko Pop. And JD is about to showcase what JD is all about. So, now let's read the last of these comments. My Allie, my friend, why not Owens? I mean, Owens could be a part of it too. That's true. Solo's face looked like he was crying. Yes, he did. Solo's face, another meme. Yes, it is. You can do a lot of that. TK, loan us Buddy for a little, right? Big facts. You take Buddy, we take Buddy, and you could have like Shanti and Cedric or something, you know. I think that's like, why can't they do that? That would be so cool. So let's give away today's MVP. And today's MVP is the guy, the man that's always here when he can be. I know he's a busy fella, but it's the one and only. It's our guy, Temple, everybody. Temple plays, and Temple gets ours and gets his third MVP on the live streams. So, Temple is our MVP. Yes, exactly, like a trade. But like for like a little bit of time. You don't have to like Joe Hendry. How Joe Hendry is showing up. Like, why can't we do that with the other people? You know, like, why can't we just do that? I just think it would make so much sense. But they probably never will, and they won't, and it is what it is. So, guys, that's all I got here for you, though, this week. After 17 shows, a bunch of shorts, a bunch of videos, and all the stuff that we did here on the channel, your boy Tino's tired. So, we're going to go here for today. And I'll be back here in 24 hours for Monday Night Raw to start another week of live streams, as we'll be live for Raw, NXT, Friday Night SmackDown. We got the MyGM. Southside boys are still here, even though the White Sox still have not won in almost 30 days, guys. The White Sox have not won a game since July 10th, and I think we're hitting August 4th tomorrow. So who knows when they'll ever win again. But the Southside boys, and then we'll have some stuff on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we'll be back here next week for another TTW episode as we talk about all the shenanigans, all the stuff going on, and everything that's going on in the wrestling world, and everything that happened this past week and this upcoming week that will go down. So, guys, go follow all the social medias, become a member, leave a super chat, go get your merchandise on bonfire.com, get your merchandise on the link below. Hashtag bonfire.com/store/Tino's Time merchandise. Go get your merchandise. But also, guys, go follow the Main Event crew. Go follow OTM. Go follow the Junkies podcast. Go follow all of the guys over there. I appreciate you guys being and having me be a part of the network. So I always got to give them their shout outs. So go follow and go do all that. But also hit that like button on this episode. Subscribe on the road to 3K. And lastly, guys, turn that notification button on so you know when we go live next, which will be tomorrow for Monday Night Raw. Guys, enjoy your Sunday, and I'll see you tomorrow to start another week of wrestling live streams and shows on the channel. Have a great day, guys, and see you tomorrow.